Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoy my presentation on Margaret Douglas, who I believe is an unintentional feminist of her day, one who can serve as a role model and we can be inspired by her actions. While little is known of her background before her notoriety, Margaret Douglas can be said to be a strong, confident, and independent woman. Way back in 1845, she left what could possibly be described as mysterious circumstances in Norfolk, Virginia, to travel to South Carolina to build a better life for her and her daughter. She did this without the support of her husband, which is certainly not normal for the women of her day. Described as well-spoken and confident, Douglas championed causes for battered women who suffered at the hands of their husbands, for sick children, and also in education. To support herself and her daughter, she created opportunities for the both of them, taking in sewing as well as embroidering. And again, with education, she later decided to teach in her own home both white and black students. The latter is which brought her to fame. Despite the current anti-literacy laws preventing persons from teaching slaves and freed black people to read, Margaret nevertheless opened a school in her home and did just that. Critics contend that, she didn't actually do this as a statement. She really just did this as a way to bring more money into the home and to support herself. And it's fair that they should think that she may not have been looking to fight the status quo. Either way, it was the decision that she made to do this, to teach these black slaves and freedmen, that led to her future arrest and trial for breaking anti-literacy laws. It's at this point that Margaret Douglas displays the fortitude I believe that makes her worthy of the title feminist. Ignoring what would make the most sense, hiring a man to represent her in the trial, she decided that she would go ahead and represent herself. She felt that she had the necessary intelligence and temerity to mount a strong defense. Indeed, she seemingly turned the tables on those that would accuse her. And she demanded to understand what was so different about what she was doing in comparison to what they themselves were doing. She pushed those to consider that what the ministers were doing in their churches and the white men of the time who were educators were doing was no different than what she was doing herself. And she felt that if not for being a woman, then this would not necessarily be an issue. If it were not for being a woman, she may have received only a warning or absolutely nothing at all. She stood strong and was fighting for fairness, truth, righteousness. She was confident, courageous, and showed braveness. Those are the true characteristics, I would say, of a feminist. Were it not for her further defense of the recipients of her teaching and the condemnation of miscegenation, it is likely that her arguments would have been successful. Yes, not only was she bold enough to stand for herself and to fight for what she believed was right, she was also brave enough to direct shame onto the male populace for what she believed to be their own sin and responsibility in the acts they themselves perform. This unfortunately led to her guilty verdict and imprisonment. Again, while detractors dismiss the idea of Margaret Douglas as a galvanizer of women or a true benefactor because her actions may appear to have been self-serving, I can't implore you more to think of her as just that. Regardless of her intention, these actions set her apart as a woman in her day who was righteous, strong, intelligent, brave, and courageous. These attributes can truly describe any in a feminist movement at any period in time, such as the ones you see here. Margaret Douglas serves as a role model, not only for women of her time, but for us as well, as we seek to ensure fairness in education, morality, and the quest to stand up to wrongs we see perpetrated in our world. Thank you.